The recent revelation of a Russian intelligence operation aimed at assassinating a valuable informant for the U.S. government on American soil has exposed the increasingly aggressive tactics employed by President Vladimir V. Putin's regime. This brazen expansion of targeted assassinations highlights a dangerous low point in the already strained relationship between intelligence services. The failed assassination attempt and its subsequent fallout have triggered a series of retaliatory measures between the United States and Russia, including sanctions and expulsions. This video delves into the details of the plot, the geopolitical implications, and the escalating tensions between the two nations. The intended victim of the assassination attempt was Alexander Potyev, a former Russian intelligence officer who had provided critical information leading to the arrest of 11 Russian spies operating undercover in the United States. These spies, living with false identities and working regular jobs, were part of a larger covert operation by the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service to gather information and recruit agents. In a diplomatic deal to ease tensions, 10 of the spies were arrested and expelled to Russia, while Moscow released 4 Russian prisoners, including Sergei V. Skripal, a former military intelligence officer convicted of selling secrets to Britain. President Putin, himself a former KGB officer, has displayed a deep disdain for defectors within the intelligence ranks, particularly those who collaborate with Western countries. The poisoning of Sergei V. Skripal in Salisbury, Britain, in 2018 marked a significant escalation in Moscow's tactics and raised concerns that similar operations could be carried out on American soil. The use of a nerve agent in the Skripal case prompted widespread diplomatic expulsions, as the United Kingdom rallied support from its allies to respond robustly. Putin had vowed to punish Alexander Potyev, but the former intelligence officer managed to flee to the United States, where he was resettled by the CIA under a highly secretive program designed to protect former spies. In 2011, Potyev was sentenced in absentia to decades in prison by a Moscow court. Despite his apparent disappearance, Russian intelligence operatives initiated an elaborate operation in 2019 to locate Potyev, leveraging the vulnerability of a scientist from Mexico, Hector Alejandro Cabrera Fuentes. Hector Cabrera Fuentes, a microbiology expert who had studied in Russia and earned a doctorate in Germany, became unwittingly involved in the Russian operation. Russian officials used leverage over his partner, who had ties to both Russia and Mexico, to coerce Cabrera Fuentes into assisting them. The plan involved securing a condominium near Miami Beach, where Potyev resided. However, Cabrera Fuentes' attempt to gather information was unsuccessful, and his arrest by U.S. authorities led to the exposure of the operation. The revelation of the assassination plot triggered a harsh response from the U.S. government. In April 2021, the United States imposed sanctions and expelled 10 Russian diplomats, including the chief of station for the SVR in Washington. The expulsion of a chief of station can significantly disrupt intelligence operations, and it was anticipated that Russia would retaliate against the U.S. counterpart in Moscow. These escalating tensions underscore the United States' determination not to tolerate foreign interference in its democratic processes. The Russian assassination attempt on U.S. soil and the subsequent fallout have significant geopolitical implications. It highlights the audacity and disregard for boundaries exhibited by Putin's regime. The incident further strains the already fragile relationship between the United States and Russia, affecting diplomatic ties and intelligence cooperation. It also underscores the global reach and influence of Russian intelligence operations, posing a challenge to the security of Western democracies. The failed assassination attempt on Alexander Potyev, a former Russian intelligence officer turned CIA informant, represents a dangerous escalation in Russia's targeted assassination operations. The incident has triggered a series of retaliatory measures between the United States and Russia, resulting in further strains on bilateral relations. The geopolitical implications of this event highlight the need for heightened vigilance and